Hey, this is the Retired Nutcase, and welcome to our channel. Today we are in St. Augustine, and we're going to be taking a tour of the old jail. So we welcome you to come along with that and do that tour and see what else. There's Gator Bob's over there. I'm not sure what that is. We'll check that out. There's some other things here as well. But right now, the main reason we're here is that building right there. So we'll go get our tickets and we'll get on the tour. All right, coming up to the ticket office here. Not sure what side it's on, but we'll see what's going on. Trolley tours, tickets sold here. That's trolley tours. I guess this side's over here is the old jail. Trolley tours, tickets sold here. I guess it doesn't matter what side. It's just trolley tours. It says where do you get the tickets for the jail at? It says trolley tours. Trolley tour tickets sold here. We'll find this out in a minute. Okay, we got our tickets. We're ready to go. We got an inmate out here waiting to see what she's going to do. It's probably our tour guide. Yeah. What's that?
Are you folks going to jail today?
Yep.
All right, let me see your papers. Let me see your papers.
She wants to see your papers. She's one of the prisoners.
Let's get your papers ready.
Get your papers. You're going to jail.
All right.
Going to go in lockup. Going to go to Pokey.
There we go.
Thank you. I'm going to have you folks stand in this white box for me, please.
Stand in the hot sun.
Yeah. Stand over here.
Unfortunately, we're going to be out in the hot sun for about 15 minutes, but I will try my best to shorten that as much as I can. So. 115 jail processing! Are you folks going to jail?
Yep.
All right, let me see your papers.
See, everybody needs papers to go to jail.
This. And there you go. And just to let you know, my friend, you can snack on that while we're outside, but once we get inside, we cannot be doing snacks, unfortunately.
They don't feed you in jail.
Yeah.
Just give you bread and water. That's it.
We're in the South.
There you are.
We're in jail. We can't cuss or spit. No.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I want to go in there, huh?
Well, I already have your papers, so that means you did something. That means I do have to take you in.
Do a little spitting. How do you get out of prison? Do a little spitting.
Howdy, folks. My name is Prisoner Trustee Mabel, and I will be taking you folks into jail today. Now, before I do that, I want to make sure nobody hit their heads on the way here. What year are we in?
Right now, 2023.
Oh, goodness. Oh, you must have hit your head real hard. Okay. We are in the year 1908.
Okay.
We are in St. Augustine, Florida.
1908.
And you are going to jail today. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but we got here in a DeLorean, so.
A what?
A DeLorean, it's a coal car. You would know about it.
Time travel.
Oh, you folks are time travelers. Okay. Oh, did you folks forget your time traveling passports? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that happens a lot, actually. Yeah. Well, you folks look pretty smart to me. Have you guys heard of a man by the name of Henry Flagler?
Yeah, his railroad's across the street.
Yeah, exactly. Great. This saves me about 4 hours of talking. So, this man came here on his railroad in 1888, and he built the beautiful Ponce de Leon Hotel. He built that hotel right across from our jail. Not this one, we had another one. And we had a great time with that. We were making all sorts of fancy tourist friends, but Mr. Flagler didn't like that too much because apparently we were bothering his tourists. So, he went to the county and asked them to move their jail. And they said, well, why would we do that? And Mr. Flagler said, I will give you $10,000 to move your jail. And all of a sudden, the county said, well, absolutely, we can move that jail right away for you, sir. But there were two conditions for getting that money. The first being that the new jail had to be at least 1 mile outside of town, and the second being that it could not look like a jail. So, here we are 1 mile outside of town, and in 1891 they came here and built this beautiful pink jail with these beautiful decorations, nice rocking chairs, a couple of tourists, and I'd say they did a pretty good job making it not look like a jail. So good, in fact, people show up thinking it's a hotel. They bring their luggage, they knock on that big metal door, and we tell them you can't bring luggage in here, and we only offer long-term accommodations. But I'm not seeing too much luggage out here, so I think you folks are prepared for the long-term stay. Now, before we get going, just a quick word of advice. Do not touch anything. People here are very protective of their belongings. Some people are a lot meaner about it than others. So as a general rule, just keep your hands to yourselves. Now, unfortunately, we cannot go through the fancy front door here. That is for the highly respectable people. And apparently, we are not the highly respectable people. So, I'm going to fix my clock. We are going to take the scenic route. Alrighty. Right this way, folks. This here is our Sheriff Joe Perry. Everyone say hi, Sheriff.
Hi, Sheriff.
Congratulations, you just talked to a statue. But it is a life-size statue of our Sheriff Joe Perry. That man stands at 6 feet 6 inches tall. He is just a little over 350 pounds. He is the judge, the jury, and the executioner of this here jail. So he is a very feared and very respected man. You do not want to get on his bad side. If you do, you'll end up here. This is our Attitude Adjustment Center. So if you're acting out a bit here in jail, they'll stick you in one of these stockades. You'll hang out for a few hours, maybe a day or so. And if this doesn't straighten you out, we've got this here bird cage. Does anyone know what kind of birds we keep in the bird cage?
A jailbird.
Jailbirds, that's right! And as your prize, you get to be our jailbird for today.
Yeah, you get to go
Good.
to jail as a jailbird.
Gotta learn to keep my mouth shut. I can't touch anything though, right?
No, can't touch this. I mean, you can touch this if you like. You're gonna be stuck in here for a few days.
All right.
Now, as our jailbird for today, we're gonna take that rope there, we're gonna swing it through that tree over there, you're gonna hang out and fly like a bird for a few days. Now, do you see a bathroom in there?
Well, I can it's right there.
Exactly. Friends, I'd keep an eye out above your heads. You might feel a little sprinkle throughout the day, and
got
I'm
good
not
aim, too.
talking about the rain, huh?
I got good aim too.
Oh, yeah? I keep a special eye out, you especially. Now, speaking of rain, we are in Florida. This here is a metal cage. Have you ever been struck by lightning before?
No.
You are in for a shocking experience.
Awesome. I could
How
use a
long?
little electricity.
Yeah? How long should I keep him in for?
How long
Yeah?
has he been here?
How long should I keep him in?
She's gonna say keep me.
I can do that. Okay, bye. You got $20?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Okay, in a minute. I'll give it to you in a
She's
minute.
holding 2 cameras right now.
That's true, that's true. All right, I'll let him out. We can put him back in later.
Okay.
Come on. Are you folks joining us in jail? All right, let me see your papers. Thank you. And you hold on to that one.
Okay, thanks.
These fancy windows here, those are our windows. And this here is an open air jail, so if you think you see glass, no you don't, your eyes will adjust eventually. Those bars will keep us in, they will not keep the weather out. So on rainier days, we get our own free indoor swimming pool because our jail does flood. But you'll be grateful for that in the warmer seasons because there's no air conditioning and it sure does get hot in there. Do you folks like animals? Great, you're gonna make so many animal friends in there. You're gonna meet snakes and spiders and possums and rats and raccoons, maybe even a baby alligator. And they're all gonna come crawling through those bars and snuggle up with you at night. And if you get a little extra hungry, see one running around, take your frying pan, hit it on the head, there's an extra meal for you. Now we'll check out in there in just a minute, but first I want to show you folks my favorite hangout spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on this one.
Yeah, probably smart. Now this here is a hanging jail. There have been 8 documented hangings here. I would like to stress the word documented. The most recent of which being a man by the name of Charlie Powell. There was a man spreading some not so nice rumors about Charlie's wife, so he did what any honorable man would do and defended her honor. The only problem with that was the only way Charlie could think to defend his wife's honor was by killing the other man. And in the state of Florida, if you kill a man, Florida kills you right back. So they put Charlie in that there death row cell. That's right, when you're put on death row, you get a view out to the very thing that will take your life. So they put Charlie in there, and on his final day, they went to take him out, and Charlie wouldn't get out of bed. They don't know if he was faking it or if he was unconscious, but they could not get Charlie to stand. And you can't hang a man who can't stand. But our sheriff does not like to take no for an answer. See, all these people would gather around. They'd paid good money to watch a hanging. So a hanging they would get. They pulled Charlie out of his cell along with a big plank of wood and some rope. They tied him to it. All of a sudden, Charlie's standing, stiff as a board. They take Charlie and his board, they put him up there, they drop that trap door, and Charlie hangs for about 2 seconds. They hadn't accounted for the extra weight of that board, so that rope snaps. Charlie comes tumbling down into the crowd, lands about where you're standing, actually. Don't worry, he's not still there. So they run up and check on him. Somehow, he's still alive. He survived the fall. Now, normally, that's a sign from up above. That means you get to go free and live the rest of your life. It is technically illegal to hang a man twice for the same crime. But, as I said before, our sheriff does not like to take no for an answer. So, they sent their deputies out to go grab a second rope. They wanted to hang Charlie a second time. Luckily for Charlie, by the time they returned with that rope, he had already passed on due to his injuries. Moment of silence for Charlie. All right, that's enough silence. Right this way. We are about to enter through the women's cell block. Ladies, there are 2 cells in here for us, a nice front cell and a back cell behind it. Each of those cells is going to have 2 beds, but they'll fit a lot more than 2 of us in there. Normally, they'll keep anywhere between 8 to 10 of us ladies in each of those cells. With only 2 beds in each, that means a couple of us are sleeping on the floor. Let's hope nobody kicks over the bathroom bucket. We get 1 bucket in each cell to all shares our bathroom. It'll fill up pretty quick, but they'll only come empty for us about once a week. But, ladies, if you're in this front cell here, you're lucky you've got that nice window right there. So as long as the wind's not blowing your way, you can dump your bucket out, you're good to go. I'd be nice to your neighbors in that back cell. The only window they have is pointing directly at your beds. But if you get a little something dumped on you, don't worry. We get to take a bath once a month. After all the men in the same bath water. They take 1 tub and fill it with water. First person gets in and out, second person gets in and out. They'll keep that cycle going for about 150 people. And about 100 of those are just the men. Us ladies don't even get to begin until all the men have gone through. Oh, and they get to shave too. So they come out with nice clean faces and we come out with beards of our own. But once that's done, those who do get to go back to beds afterwards have nice comfy mattresses stuffed with Spanish moss. That Spanish moss comes with these little red bugs that are gonna give you a nice back massage while you sleep. Home sweet home. Now ladies, we are gonna be cramped up in there for quite some time, so for now I'm gonna save you the trouble. We're gonna sneak right on through. You can look at our ladies' cells to the left, but we are going to continue on into the room to our right. And whoever's out of here last, whoever's in here last, if I could ask you to please shut this door behind us.
It's pretty cold.
this here is maximum security. This is where the worst of the worst are going to end up. Murderers, horse thieves, bank robbers, any of the worst crimes you can think of are going to end up in one of these cells in here. Normally, they'll start off in this holding cell. Now there are 4 beds in this cell. So they'll keep anywhere between 20 to 30 men in there. They're still only going to get 1 bucket. They're still only going to empty that bucket about once a week. But if you get a little too cramped in there, you want a little extra room to yourself, all you have to do is act out a little bit extra. You'll get your own personal cell all to yourself right back there. That is solitary confinement. There's absolutely nothing in there. Not a bed, not a pillow, not even a bucket.
Not even a light.
No. Sometimes they be right in there with clothes on. So it's just you and your business in there. Maybe a couple critters that crawl through those holes, but for the most part, that big door there is shut. And when it is, you cannot hear or see anything, not even the hand in front of your face. You could be in there for a few days, a few weeks, a few months, and sometimes they forget you're in there. But even when they remember, the only food you're getting in there is a piece of moldy bread and some water. So if you make it out of there, you're not going to be feeling too good. You'll probably end up across the way in our isolation cell. This cell here is where you go when you get any sort of disease. And notice I said when and not if, because disease does run wild around this here jail. So it's only a matter of time before you end up in there. And doctors only show up every time there's a hanging. There's only many of those. So you'll either spend a really long time in that cell or not very long at all. And the final cell we have in this block here is our death row cell. This is where you would go to spend the final 30 days of your life before you are to be hanged. But what's worse is that on the first day, those gallows are not there yet. See, you know your own weight and height best. So they would have you go out there and build your own gallows custom to your measurements. What do I say about touching things? Oh, you aren't here. Do not touch anything, please. Thank you. I'll give you a pass this once. But only this once. Maybe not that one, but that one? I'm thinking about it.
You gotta be careful because she actually locked me up, so. Just saying.
Now, they would actually have you go out there and build your own gallows custom to your measurements. Once you've done that, they'd have you come back in here and stare at them until the day they take your life. I'd say that's as much of a mental execution as it is a physical one. But, lucky for us, none of us are on death row today. We're all gonna make it out alive. Hopefully. Gentlemen, let me show you how you're going to spend your days here in jail. Gentlemen are going to be part of what's called the chain gang. What that means is they're going to take about 20 or so of you men. They're going to chain you all together using these here one-size-fits-all shackles. Once they've done that, each one of you men will get one of these ball and chains. Does anyone have a guess as to how much this ball and chain weighs? You cannot answer.
30 pounds.
30 pounds? Okay, I'll take that. Any other guesses?
100.
100? Okay.
25.
25?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even not
You thinking 50?
Yeah.
Alright, this here weighs about 5 pounds.
Oh.
But that's because it's hollow. So they'll take that nice 5 pounds, they'll put it around your ankle, you'll think, well, that's not too bad at all. And then they'll walk you out to your workstation, and once they've got you where they need you, they'll take this cap here off and fill this with sand and water. That 5 pounds is very quickly going to become about 50 to 70 pounds. See, as part of the chain gang, you gentlemen actually get to leave the jail. You get to go to all sorts of locations and do all sorts of hard work, and they don't want anyone making a break for it. So each one of the men will get one of these ball and chains to make sure all the work gets done and they return to the jail here at night. Now ladies, we don't get any fancy jewelry, but they're still gonna put us to work. Let me show you where. Ladies, we are going to spend our days Now, we're going to spend about 14 to 16 hours in this here kitchen. And if you thought the rest of the jail got hot, this cast iron stove is running 24 hours a day. It gets to heat to about 140 degrees. That combined with the floor to heat and the fact that this room here is not very well ventilated makes this the hottest room in the jail. It also makes it the room with the highest fatality rates. There are only two ways those ladies make it out of this room. The first being we're done with all our work for the day. The second being collapse from heat exhaustion. But since we can't leave, there are two ways to get food out to our fellow inmates. One of those being that hole in the wall behind you guys called the bean hole. You take the beans, you put them in the hole. Pretty self-explanatory. But for our friends upstairs, we have this here fancy dumbwaiter. So we prop this door open, fill it with all the food we need to, and then we shut it. Bang on it twice, and they know to bring that upstairs to general population. And if you're thinking that looks like a mighty fine way to escape, well, the people on the other end are the deputies. They'll throw you right back down where you came from. I found that out the hard way. Anyways, you folks look pretty hungry, so let me go over the menu with you real quick. For breakfast, we get grits. But anything that might make those grits appealing, like cheese, or shrimp, or butter, we don't get any of those fun fancy toppings. We don't even get salt and pepper on our grits. And that's breakfast every day. But for lunch, things get a little better. You get beans. And then for dinner, more beans. This is a gas-powered jail. But gentlemen, you get a small break from beans while you're on the chain gang. You get this fun snack called hardtack. This is very simple to make. It is just 3 ingredients: flour, water, and salt. You're gonna bake it for as long as you can, leave it in the sun for a few days, and you'll know it's ready when sounds like that. Anyone want a bite? Didn't think so. That's where your coffee comes in. That coffee grinder back there is used to make about 400 to 800 cups of coffee a day. Any ladies who don't know how to cook spend their entire day back there endlessly grinding coffee. So coffee is endless, and what the men do is they take their hardtack, and these holes here are perfect for absorbing that coffee, making it a little softer, a little easier to chew. Those holes are also home to little tiny bites of protein called weevils. And those little bugs are gonna float to the top of your coffee, add a little extra crunch, a little extra flavor. Scrumptious. Now, I'm going to need a very brave volunteer. Are you volunteering someone else? Then you're volunteering yourself. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, yeah.
You didn't say me. Oh, you are an evil person.
All right, here's what you're gonna do for me. Yeah, we're gonna wait. All right, you're gonna knock on the. Get on.
Are you having her knock on that door?
No.
All right, just.
I thought they were supposed to be escaping, not coming in.
All right, so what you're gonna do? You're gonna knock on the
Inmates
door.
coming in,
And then if you don't
escaping.
hear an answer, you're gonna open it, take a step inside for us. Go on. Did you get shot?
No.
Oh, thank goodness, we're good. Well, we got the first one we played all week. Thanks for the sacrifice. Now, our sheriff cares a lot about appearances, and he's got quite a lot of money, so he can buy all sorts of fancy, expensive things to show off people when they enter his office. One of those that he is quite proud of is this here fingerprinting kit. This is one of the first fingerprinting kits to make its way to Florida. It came all the way from the Scotland Yard. It is one of 3 of its kind in the entire world, and it is the only one of its kind here in the state of Florida. So this is a very rare, very prized possession of our sheriff. Something else our sheriff is quite proud of is this here Oliver No. 9 typewriter. Because, well, this is the most expensive typewriter money can buy in our time of 1908. Our sheriff got this because his handwriting isn't the best, so he'd write arrest warrants to give to his deputies, and they couldn't read them. But they are so scared of our sheriff, they just bring in any man off the side of the street just to make him happy. happy. Eventually, our sheriff caught on to that. He got this year's typewriter to fix that problem. But that's not the only way our sheriff got information around. He had this here cell phone. Now tell me, if I took this phone off the wall and brought it to my cell, what would I have? A cell phone! I'm here all year. This phone here is one of 17 phones in the entire county. They all operate on the same phone line. And people call it the party line. Because if one phone rings, all 17 of them ring. And anybody wants one can pick theirs up and listen in on any conversation they'd like. Now, most people have the common decency not to, but our sheriff does quite like gossip. So he'll pick up this phone here and listen in on just about any conversation he can. And of course people are finding out, but he's the sheriff who's going to stop him. And even if he wasn't the sheriff, have you seen how tall that man is? You know what? I think it's about time we go meet him. So, we're going to make our way upstairs to general population. There are about 18 steps. They are a little bit narrow, a little bit steep. So if anyone is uncomfortable with stairs or just does not feel like making that trek with us today, we do have an escape door to our left. If you sneak out, I won't tell anyone. My name is Bagel. It's been a pleasure crossing you today. But if you are joining us, I ask that you allow me to go first. And then there are handrails, and they are the one thing in this jail you folks can touch. So I'm going to take advantage of that. So we're going to start making our way up there, and whoever's out of here last, if you please shut the sheriff's door so he doesn't know we were here.
I know.
Watch them.
This is the part I remember. 10 years ago, I was on a tour. They, I don't remember doing any of the bottom stuff. They took us up here.
Interesting. Was it a daytime tour or a nighttime tour?
That I don't remember.
Oh, because the nighttime
But it
ones, I
was-
think they only go here and like one other room.
Yeah, they did here, and then they did like a room where they had all the shanks and all that kind of stuff.
Shanks. Oh, you guys might have done the nighttime tour. We don't have those Shanks.
Okay.
So you guys
This
probably
is like
did those
years
three
ago,
stuff.
10, 12 years ago.
Years ago.
Yeah. Things change, but this is a much better tour.
Thank you.
And the girls, baby.
All right, thank you for letting me know. All right, this here is general population. And in case you didn't notice him on the way in, our sheriff is standing there watching over us. Now, this is where a majority of the men will end up. There are 8 cells here on the bottom and 6 cells there on top. And these cells are less than half the size of those women's cells we saw. But that's not going to stop them from still trying to fit about 8 men in each one. And they tried to fix the bathroom situation a little bit. They installed 1 bathroom with 1 shower and 1 toilet. And with the diet of beans, beans, and more beans, that toilet clogged up pretty quick. And our sheriff did not feel like fixing it. So that whole bathroom only lasted us about 1 month. Then it was back to buckets. Now the floors beneath us are about 4 feet of solid concrete. The walls around us are about 3 feet of solid concrete. No one has ever escaped. So far, I'm working on it. It was built by the Augustine Jail Company in St. Louis, Missouri. And they built another well-known jail you guys might have heard a little something about. I think it's called Alka-Seltzer. That one, yes. And this jail here was actually the model for that fancy Alcatraz jail, so the two are very similar. Now, I like it here because, well, I have to. The average sentence is about 3 to 5 years. Most of us only make it 1 to 2, making this essentially a death sentence for most who enter. So my days are probably pretty limited, but you know what? I think one day they're going to shut this place down. I think that they're going to deem it a crime against humanity in, I don't know, maybe the year 1953. Now that is a really long time to wait, but lucky for you folks, you don't have to wait that long. Our sheriff has decided that you folks listening to me talk this long has been punishment enough. So he has decided to pardon you guys today. Woo! But I do ask that you listen to me for just about 2 more minutes so I can tell you everything we have up here and how to safely get yourself back down. So there is quite a lot to look at up here. We've got stuff on all 4 of the walls in here. You can go on in here and look at these cells and where that bathroom was in the back right corner. Across the hallway, you will find the deputy's quarters where our sheriff and his family would stay. And then around that corner to the left, there is a graphic photo gallery. Now be advised, if you go in there, there are some pictures of a man while he is hanging, but there is some very interesting history. So if you would like to check that out, you are more than welcome to do so at your own discretion. You folks can explore for absolutely as long as you would like. We just ask that when you are done, you please, please, please do not go back down those same steps that we came up. Otherwise, you might not be making the breaker home and do today. We ask instead that you go out this door over here on the end. On your way out, make sure you grab one of those cream-colored cards. That's your pardon card. Make sure they don't throw you back in jail. And if you would like, you can grab one of those pink cards as well. That's a comment card. Leave a little mail. Gets kind of lonely here in jail. Does anyone have any questions? Alrighty. Once again, my name is Mabel. It's been an absolute pleasure processing you folks today. If anyone does think of any questions while you're wandering, or if you'd like to help with my bail fund, I'll be hanging out by the exit for a few minutes to help you out. Enjoy your freedom, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, I don't think most jails are being
It's interesting. Something interesting in that one? Is there something interesting in this one? Bunch of empty holes, huh?
Oh, is that the shower?
The bathroom.
Oh, this is where the bathroom was. Oh, okay.
That little spot over there is probably the toilet.
Well, bigger than a bucket.
Too bad they only had it for a month. I tell you what, they just must have been golf, smelly place. All those big leaves and sweat going down there.
This is where the people would hang out while they're keeping everybody rested to take their nap times. Oh, that's a nice hat. I like that hat. Reminds me of my hat. Nice vest. That's cool. I like that. All right. Old pictures and whatnot.
prisoners were stripped and placed in outfitted barrels for hours on end. Once inside that barrel, it was impossible to get a comfortable position, and prisoners had to walk around with the weight of the oak barrel on their shoulders. I've never seen that
No, never seen
before.
never seen
Never
barrels.
seen that.
This must be the
Wow.
wagons that she was talking about over at
Oh yeah.
where they take them out.
Where they take them out and work and
Went camping.
live in the.
That's interesting. Never seen that.
No, they're southern convict camps. For a long time, they held an opinion that nothing since the days of the Spanish Inquisition has exceeded in horror the atrocities reported from the southern convict camps. In these camps, by overwhelming evidence, murder, whippings,
All the different guns.
rape of women,
That's amazing.
convicts by their guards, and other outrages to be described.
Yeah. A lot of these guns and the shanks and stuff used to be in the photo room. That's where I remember it. They didn't have them hanging here on the walls. But they're all the same ones. This is a much better layout than what they had years ago. They're doing a much better job.
I don't know what the daytime tours were like years ago, but I do know our nighttime tours. If you guys did the Ghosts and Gravestones, they go a couple of places on the trolley, and when they come here, they go to the gallows, and then they come up here, or they go to the gallows. I think they take they walk through the women's cells, but they skip everything downstairs, and they come right up here. They lock everyone in that cell block there, walk around, and then I believe they end it in the photo gallery area over there. So I think that one, you see a little less of the jail. That might have been what you guys did. If you guys also remember if you went other places or not.
I can't remember all the whole detail, but I do remember being up here and seeing this and walking up. Like I said, all the guns and all that were in that photo gallery room.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's why I remember being back there.
Yeah.
I don't think they even left us back in the back part of that, where the living quarters.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever seen that.
Oh, okay.
So they're giving a lot more of the tour now. So what's your name?
Mabel.
Okay, Mabel. I'm going to sign off for this. I'm going to have Beth give you one of our cards because we're on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
And so you can, if you'd like to watch it, you're welcome to do that and become one of our subscribers.
Awesome. I'd love to.
Very
Thank
good.
you for having me.
Okay. Well, everybody, it's been a good video. We've got some very interesting information from a wonderful, wonderful person. And we're glad she was our tour guide. And we're going to say goodbye for now. So you know what they always say, guys? If the women can't find you handsome, they'll at least find you handy.